Biggums, what's up? Yeah, I'm good. How you doing? For sure. Dude, good. I just did my videos, AMC and GME, and then watched football and just passed out some candy right now. Dude, that's so funny because it's like perfect weather over here in LA, and there were like 5 kids total that came by. LRC with GameStop for real? Maybe. By the way, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not make investments based on what I say in this video. What's up, Angela Purser? Man, I think I remember you way back from February or March. Let's do this. That's right. About to
What's everyone
start
doing
work.
today?
About to start work in 30 minutes. Oh, you got the night shift. I got you.
Put you over here.
By the way, guys, you're probably just going to see my big ass head on my stream. If you want to go to Biggums' channel, you can watch this on Biggums as well. He's got a pretty cool setup. But make sure to subscribe to his channel and subscribe to my channel as well.
Probably shouldn't have done it on Halloween night, man. I suppose why not? Who cares? Fuck it, we're just bullshitting.
Oh no, people will show up.
Yeah, I had to work all day, dude. Got a good 12 hours in. It was super fun.
Sounds like you hated it.
Oh yeah. Luckily, I have my only day off tomorrow. Let's go.
Nice. Yeah, let me know when you're ready, Biggums.
I'm ready whenever you are, my friend.
Okay, do you want to start it off? You got anything interesting?
I mean, I was just gonna kind of, go over some little stuff for AMC here. Go over like the numbers for the. You probably can't even see my screen, can you?
No.
Let me fix that. I think we did this last time. Here we go.
What's up, Susan? How you doing? There we go. Now I see it. Cool.
Yeah, so this is gonna be like the domestic, numbers for the weekend and everything like that. So I always like to look back and just kind of you can see how movies are doing, kind of see which ones actually made $100 million, and just kind of see what they were, obviously. Let me see here. Hold on. I think there was one down here. I can't remember which one it was, but it had there's a Shanghai and the Legends of Ten Ring. I think is actually the best for the year right now at 139 million gross overall. But you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies now, 7 on the year that made over $100 million. So that's pretty good news for AMC. That's pretty sweet. And then so here's my question to you, because I keep seeing like 6,000 things. So if you go on NASDAQ and you come down, straight on their website, you go down to the earnings. Isn't it for tomorrow? Or am I wrong here?
No one knows. No one knows.
No one knows. Okay, because I was like, man, it says to this, and then I saw like 6 different sites that were like the 5th. I saw one for the 8th. It was like, dude, what's going on here?
I know. Most of the ones I saw were tomorrow after hours. But I also saw some for like November 8th or 9th. So I don't think anybody knows yet for sure what day earnings is for AMC.
Yeah, pretty funny. Well, then never mind. I mean, obviously I was going to show that, but that's not a big deal. And then did you guys see that they confirmed that October theater admissions revenue for AMC, both in the United States and internationally, the highest it has been in any month since COVID forced for closure?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so that was pretty sweet news. I mean, so if anybody, thinks, AMC or the theaters aren't doing well, they're actually doing better now than they've been ever. And I mean, so going off that note, what I was gonna do is kind of show everybody some up and coming movies as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously you got Internals coming out here right in November.
No, dude, movies are booming, and I'm not just saying that because I like the stock. Like, people are actually flocking to the theaters.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's still a lot of good quality lineups, some big blockbusters. I mean, you still got like Ghostbusters coming up. I think Eternals should do pretty good. There's
The Matrix is gonna kick ass, dude.
Yeah, The Matrix, that should kill it. Ghostbusters is on the 19th of this month.
The Matrix should do $500 million or more.
Yeah, dude, I think that should be the biggest one of the year so far. Obviously, Resident Evils usually kill.
Oh, I thought that was a video game.
It is, but they made it a movie. The movies are pretty good. I mean, for a zombie slayer, obviously, you can't expect too much out of them. West Side Story.
Red Rocket with Simon Rex, Dirt Nasty. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, and then these Spider-Man movies, they're actually massive. They usually kill in the box offices, so that should be another super good thing there. Obviously, like you said, The Matrix. So, I mean, there's still a lot of super good movies coming out that should kill in the box offices. So, AMC should actually, start pulling in. Hopefully, if we all start going in, seeing a lot of these movies, and guys, don't mind spending a couple extra dollars on the concession stands. It is our company after all. We do own the float.
Yeah. Probably multiple times over.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I said that, not you.
yeah. It's not financial advice as well, but like you said, like right away, even next year. I mean, look at all these good ass movies coming out. Those jackass movies are gonna do super good. I mean, there's a lot.
Wait. February 4th? I thought it comes out October. Wait. Oh, they must have pushed it back.
I think they did push it back.
It was gonna be October 22nd. I didn't even notice that.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the. Oh man. Okay, whatever.
Let's check it out. Yeah. Yep. It did get pushed back.
It's that one's gonna be so good. I can't wait, dude. I mean, I'm sure you grew up on that as well.
Oh yeah, dude. Those were fucking hilarious, man. Always good for a laugh or two.
Those are all big movies. Scream, Sing 2.
When's Top Gun? Wasn't Top Gun? Somebody asked there. I think Top Gun.
Somebody in my chat said Top Gun too. Also.
Okay, so Top Gun. It looks like Top Gun got moved to 2022, May 27th.
Oh, okay. So still a good while. And John Wick 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but look at that. John Wick 4 comes out right away with it, so that should be sweet. You got obviously the next Jurassic Park coming out next year. Next year should be amazing for movies because what they're looking at is obviously they're starting to see now people are going back to the movies, so now they're not going to hold back on those releases anymore. So should start seeing a lot of those good movies, and a lot of I don't know if another movie that should kill next year that's coming out is kids movies do the best for people don't realize that, but they're the what make the most money, and that Buzz Lightyear movie comes out next year. So that should kill it.
These are not flops. These are not like just another Netflix movie. These are full-blown blockbusters back to back.
Exactly.
Because they had them saved up. If my viewers aren't aware, they had all these movies finished. Like Free Guy was finished 2 years ago, but they had to wait because of COVID. So they had so many movies on the assembly line ready to go, but they had to wait.
Yeah. But that's all I got for AMC updates. Unless you got anything else you wanted to show. I just thought seeing that October news is awesome. That obviously it's the most revenue they've made since the shutdown.
Yeah, that's huge. You mind if I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead. Of course.
Yeah, so I just got a couple things for AMC, and then I got some pretty big things for GME for my GameStop people. Dude, I love that my viewers support both stocks because it's so refreshing to see, man.
Oh yeah, I got both of my intro video, man. I mean, I got a couple GME shares. I mean, everyone that hates on each other, we're all in this together. And obviously, the more we learn about market structure, everybody's getting screwed. It doesn't matter what stock you're in. So, focus on the bad guys, not each other.
So I'll start with the good news, and then I'll go up to the even better news. AMC's beta is now negative 4.06, according to Fintel. That is the lowest that I've seen it. That's good news in my eyes. If you guys don't know what it means, beta is the correlation to the overall market. A negative beta specifically is very rare. Only a couple stocks have it. And it means that if the market were to crash, hypothetically, the stock should go up. Okay. No guarantees, but I do like seeing that beta. The more negative, the better in my eyes. And last time I checked, it was like -3.5. So that went down. GME's beta went down as well. It's now at -2.94. That was at like -2.5. So GME and AMC, both their beta, according to Fintel, are now very low. It's very rare to have a stock even in the negatives at all. Most stocks are 0 or positive, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. And then this was really cool. So Matt Feinstone, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar, but he's the head of blockchain at GameStop. Previously worked at Loopring up until I believe it was April of this year. So head of blockchain at GameStop tweeted this out earlier today, hashtag NFT NYC 2021. So it looks like Matt's in New York City for this NFT convention, and this time it is legit. Okay. But you can go to their website. It's nft.nyc. It's going on November 1st to the 4th. It's sold out. It's this big thing. And check out who else is there. This is probably going to blow somebody's minds if you guys haven't seen this. So Matt Feinstone is there. And let me get my internet loaded up. Well, Matt Feinstone is there. Mathematics, the producer for Wu-Tang Clan, is there. And also the Sandbox is there. So the Sandbox is a company that I speculated last week might be partnering with GameStop. And lo and behold, they're all at the same convention. A lot of people on Reddit are talking about November 5th. Remember the 5th of November. And then you got the chart is just set up perfectly. So Matt Feinstone is at NFT NYC, Wu-Tang producer, Mathematics is at NFT NYC, and the Sandbox will also be at NFT NYC. So you can look at the events and it shows you who all is going to be there. Just pretty coincidental how they would all be there after we had that theory. And then the Sandbox is really interesting because I came across them after I saw that leak from GMEDD.com, and it was the GitHub repository written up by whoever created it. I don't know, but it was for NFT.GameStop, and it was the source code for the NFT marketplace coming out. It was leaked, and in the code there was one line that was a web address, and it said something like gstop-sandbox.com and then like some code. And so I googled what Sandbox was, and lo and behold, this is its own, I guess you would call it a metaverse. It's like a cryptocurrency digital world. So play, create, own, and govern a virtual world made by players. And you can use like crypto in the game. And they've partnered with Snoop Dogg before. So, this is just my guess that GameStop and Loopring and Sandbox are going to partner, and it's going to change the world. So I was just really, really stoked to see this photo earlier. What do you think about that, Biggums?
Great information, man. I mean, obviously, I know you've been looking at them joining together for a while now, and you know a lot more about that NFT than I would. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with all your opinion on that stuff, man.
Yeah, and it's all theory. I'm not saying anything is going to happen for sure, but
I mean, obviously, they're leaving clues everywhere. That's the thing.
Exactly, and that's why lately I've been liking GameStop stock more. I have more of AMC stock. I think my viewers know that, but and I like it more recently because the company is giving breadcrumbs. You could argue Adam Aaron gave us a breadcrumb when he was smiling and he's like, I'm not gonna let you know for sure or not if that was a mistake. Him like showing his boxers on
naked shorts. Yeah.
Trade's interview, but I was having a discussion with a well-known ape in the community the other day, and we were like, man, it would be nice if AMC dropped one cryptic tweet a month.
Yeah. But I mean, I wish we knew what they were doing behind the scenes. I heard he was making an announcement on Monday. Did you hear anything about that, or was that just somebody talking?
So you could be right. He did say he was going to drop a new business line. This was a few weeks ago, and he said he's going to drop it in a few weeks. So they could be dropping a new business line with the earnings report. And okay. I mean, I think that has something to do with crypto too, because he also was talking about issuing cryptocurrency. And there's only so many circumstances a company that large would issue cryptocurrency. So I'll let people put two and two together there, but
yeah,
it's pretty funny. Like, it's October 31st, about to be November. People have been holding, like, it's almost coming up on a year for a lot of people. Something good is going to happen. And it's like, I know people might get irritated when like I say that, and I try not to hype up anything. Like, my viewers know that, but like, I understand people getting burnt out, right? Like, that's a real thing. And that's why my views are down. Everybody's views are down, like, that are AMC and GME YouTubers and blah, blah, blah. And I understand. It's because it's like, you can only hear like, oh, something good is going to happen for so long before you're like, yo, I'm just going to wait. And so, eventually something's going to happen. And I think these breadcrumbs are going to prove to be fruitful, that these companies are leaving us.
Thank you. Like, this is one of the things that I tell anybody who knows me or DMs me or works with me or talks to me, and it's just something that people should learn in stocks in general. So like, basically, when they're playing AMC and GME, these are your long positions. So this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, do your own portfolio the way you want to handle it. But usually when you have a long position, you're going to sit in that thing for a long time. So you're not staring at it every single day. So the fact that everybody stares at these graphs every single day for every little penny on these positions that they're going long on, I mean, you guys, that's going to eat you emotionally. That's why I always say, like, just go enjoy life as well. I mean, that's something people forget to do a lot while staring at these stocks. I mean, it's going to happen no matter what. The way this everything's set up, they have to cover, and they haven't done it yet. And if retail continuously, it's just how it works. If retail is going to continuously do this play over and over and over, they have to keep on shorting over and over and over. They have to keep it down, or they're going to have to cover, or the price is going to keep going up so high because we're not stopping buying. So the play's there, everything's there. We just need to keep doing those certain things. We've obviously learned some more ways we can get around hurting the market makers, because that's what's key, is taking out these market makers and getting a MOAS, not just a short squeeze.
Yeah, and I think one of the best ways to do that is to order directly through a lit exchange. And it's like, man, I shake my head because people tweet all the time. They're like, dark pool's at 70%, but like, I rarely see posts that are like, well, did you know that you can lower that percentage? Like, like, yeah. If you have a broker and it's one of the top brokers, almost all of them allow you to enable direct order routing. It's just up to the individual investor to do that. And it's not like a lot of work. It literally takes 60 seconds.
No, I got a video too, you guys. I got a video on my, sorry to cut you off, but I got a video on my website, on my YouTube. It's got step-by-step instructions on 8 platforms and around the world. It's got people for UK. We got people in Mexico, Canada, obviously all over the United States, but it shows you exactly step-by-step on how to do it. And like he said, to order lit exchange, it just takes a couple extra seconds. But one of the reasons I wanted to cut you off is, I've been talking with somebody. I can't, it's a figure, so I can't say names because he would get in trouble as well. So but this guy is very, very knowledgeable, and some of the things he was talking about for some of the exchanges we should use and look at is, one of them is, 1 second here, it's LSTE. and then you also want to look at the IEX. These are basically the only two lit exchanges that are in it to help retail and to protect us from arbitrage and these predatory tactics that they use. And the thing is, they can still use these tactics in a lit exchange, but the thing is we see the data, and obviously when they're doing it on a lit exchange, it's easier for them to get caught, and then they get their fines. It's still, they aren't allowed to do it. They obviously go ahead.
Do you want to show your screen?
Oh yeah, no, I mean it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. And guys, what I was just drawing there, I was like, my screen was like glitching out, so don't pay attention to what I was just drawing.
Yeah, so, and like, one of the things I want to do over this next week, I was putting that tweet up, is because I feel like so many people don't understand. Like, they understand, like, the market's insane. It's insanely hard to understand. It's not an easy thing to, you're not going to just look at it. So
it's convoluted.
Yeah, exactly. And there's terms upon terms. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm going to do this market structure series that will show you guys, exactly, because like everybody, like the second they hear dark pool, everybody's like, oh, you don't know what it is. You just think bad. Just, oh, bad. That's how they're manipulating. That's how they're doing everything.
Yeah.
But if like I'm going to now, so what I'm going to do is break down from the second, an order goes to here, what it can happen and how they would use these dark pools. And just so people understand, I don't like Matt Coors, we know, but I well agree with the guy. It's not dark pools like everybody thinks. I've been saying forever it's this OTC, and I don't think people understand what the OTC is as much as they should. But this little series should teach you guys, because there's, in this OTC market, they have so many different kind of ways that they can fill these orders. They can internalize them, use dark pools, there's ISDA contracts. I mean, there's so many different ways that they can do all these things in the OTC market. And that's why it's so important to get it out of there, is to get that money away from them.
Okay, yeah. So just let me interject real quick. Guys, here's the event, November 2nd. It's got Venly, Polygon, and the Sandbox. And then tomorrow, 6 to 9, it's got Timbaland, the producer, Wu-Tang's Mathematics, and Kevin McCoy discuss music NFTs. So pretty interesting. But Biggums, continue on, man. You're speaking important truths.
Oh, no, I mean, I can't remember too much, but yeah, like, so, and a lot of these things, because a lot of people, they hear ATSs, and they just instantly think it's a dark pool, but they're different things, and I guess I could show my screen here real quick. I could show you the little flow chart, because obviously it's not like everybody's looked at my, my YouTube here, so give me 1 second here.
Somebody said, Jackson, you watch Lou on Money and use his info.
Dude, everybody, Lou on Money, is that Lou from Wall Street?
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of people they love that guy, man. A lot of people, like, every day, they're like, dude, you watch Lou's video? I'm like, no. They're like, you're saying stuff you've said. I'm like, well, cool. But,
yeah, dude, I don't watch his shit.
I honestly don't watch anybody's videos. I mean,
no,
I pop yours on. Mine. Yeah, it's like, I'll pop yours on every once in a while. Swap share screen with video. 1 second here. Let me,
His fans are crazy, man. They're like,
oh, so they love him, dude.
Possessive and shit, dude.
How do I like get off your screen on this shit?
Oh, you want to share yours?
Yeah, I spent one time. I was like, dude, I can't even see. Here we go. Let me just go over this. I'll just pull over my thing quick.
Jackson, you watch Lou on Money and use his info. Dude, even if I did, which I don't, it's not called using info. It's called learning and then spreading that knowledge. What do you think I do with Biggums?
Yeah, I mean, if you're crediting a person,
Biggums, and then I put it on my videos. Like we all learn from each other, man.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. That's like part of the big toxicity in this movement. Like, people don't allow people to learn. It's like, dude, like, how do you think people go from being a beginner to an expert? You have to learn.
Oh yeah, and it's not only that. It's like, people don't care if you say their stuff. It's just give them credit. It's when you go make a video right after you read something from somebody, you go, dude, I just figured this out. You guys, no, you didn't. You learned from this person. Just give credit. That's all. But so back to like what I was saying here. So like, as you can see, This is going to be like a flow chart quick. So if you buy an order, this will just take one quick brief minute to go over this stuff. So
dude, take your time with this. This is really cool. Check this out, guys.
All right, so basically, this is how the market structure works. This is very simplified. Obviously, it's way more stuff than this. But basically, so like, let's say you're retail. This could be an institution as well. You're going to send your order. It's going to be a buy or sell order. It's going to go to your broker. And what they're going to do now is send that order to a market maker. And, you know, in a perfect world, that broker would have already had your share and just you bought it from them. You know what I mean? That's how it should work. But they had these market makers on the back end. Now, these market makers, let's say once they get your order. So now everybody sits there, because I want people to understand this process, because a lot of people think, you know, like from this broker here, they're sending through a dark pool, magic dark pool right here, and then it's going to the market maker. And then the market maker's filling it. But they're sending it over there. Now, that market maker, he basically has these options on the back end to fill this order. Now, he can do it where it's a market maker to a market maker exchange, just a direct exchange. He can internalize that order, which is basically just using his own shares in his own system, his own portfolio to fill your order. He can use dark pools. We found out they can go and use ISDA contracts, which is like basically a third market for the super, super rich. And basically, a lot of that used to be off exchange, but after phase 5, they're actually now tracking that stuff, which they used to not do. And that's why I think we got into a lot of the mess we're into across, you know, the entire world in this derivatives market. But another thing they can do is use ATSs and exchanges. But anything other than an exchange, all these top options, there's a couple more options that I'll add down the road. But anything other than this exchange here now is going to be over the counter, off exchange. You know, everybody here.
Is that this? Because I'm learning right now too. Is over the counter the same as off exchange? They're interchangeable.
Yeah, they're like the same. Yeah, basically it's the same thing. So anything that's not lit is going to be off exchange. So it's the OTC market at that point. We don't see that. It's not public data. That's why it's like a secondary market, because we can't see that on like the the level 2 data. You can't see that. But if we started ordering at the lit exchange, you'd all see that. But basically, if you have payment for order flow, that gets rid of this option on the exchanges. So no matter what, the market maker with payment for order flow is going to fill that with this over-the-counter, one of these options. And what that market maker is going to do when he gets your order is he's going to look at all these options in the back end. Obviously, they got those computers doing this at, billion fucking miles an hour. But so that's going to look at this back end and it's going to see, how can I fill that order at this exact second to make that most profit for me? And that's why payment for order flow is so stupid, because you have basically two giant market makers now that have the entire flow of the entire market all day long, and that's going to them. They control it all with the payment. And with on top of that, now they have all the flow of the market in the back end. They can do all these things. So that's why it's like payment for order flow allows them to control this OTC market, and it's just so stupid. And if you're going to fill the orders on our behalf, and that's what it's supposed to be, is they're paying for the right to execute our order. But if you're doing the right to execute our order and you're doing that to make money, how can you do that in our best interest? You know what I mean? You're going to do that to where you're making profit. Yeah. But so basically with these dark pools, because a lot of people like today, there's a lot of FUD going around with like the IEX exchange and how it's a dark pool. They use them. The IEX exchange, I've talked to Dave Lauer, and he helped create the IEX exchange. He helped create it. So, he would know.
Brent Katsuyama, is that his name?
Who?
The guy that started it. I'm going to look it up.
I can't remember.
Brad. It's Brad Katsuyama.
Yeah. So they started that exchange, and they looked at basically trying to fight this arbitrage that's going on from these hedge funds.
Yeah, it's because he was getting front run.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And so they started this exchange so they could protect everybody from that. And basically, what we're finding out with these other exchanges are a lot of them, like the New York Stock Exchange, the chairman got paid $2 million to approve this ruling that made it so Ken Griffin could buy ICM, and once they did that, they became the largest market maker in the United States at that point. So I'm not trying to help the New York Stock Exchange in any way, shape, or form, but the IEX, it started out as a dark pool. They registered it as a dark pool because it's a lot easier to get approved as a dark pool than it is to get it approved as an exchange right off the bat. So when you get approved as a dark pool, shortly right after they got approved as an exchange, which sped the process up a lot faster. So that's why it says that they're registered as a dark pool. And on top of that, so there's a difference between a dark, going dark OTC and basically a dark order. So if you have a dark order, there's types that these exchanges offer, and basically to like hide it. So it's like an order type that they can do. So it's a dark order that you wouldn't see on level 2. So that's what it's talking about when it says like going dark. But it still hits the public data feed, and it still instantly gets registered at that point. So it still goes dark, but it's still lit at the same time, if that makes sense. But we just wouldn't see it on that level 2 if they bought that market type or that order type.
Yeah.
So that's what it meant by a lot of that stuff. So I wanted to clarify that to a lot of people. When they look at it, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's a dark pool." It's not a dark pool. It just registered as one to start off. And then that LSTE is the other one we should be going to. They also protect against that arbitrage, and I've been told by a couple other people that know a lot about the market that they're actually in it to help retail as well. And we need to support those exchanges, because if we start supporting those exchanges and they start making money, other people start either having to change their model. It was just like payment for order flow. A lot of people were complaining to Fidelity. Next thing you notice, they're adding direct order to the cell phone app. It's like and then you saw Webull. A couple of people emailed Webull and were saying the same thing, and they're demanding Webull changes it over from non-payment to order flow, and they're now trying to look into doing that. So we're making changes across these platforms, and that's huge, man.
Yeah. I'm not in this for the long term as much as other people are, but I just don't have faith in the stock market at all. But, when it squeezes, I'm going to cash out and then do whatever I actually want to do in life.
Hell yeah, man.
There's not many people whose like passion is playing the stock market. Like let's be honest. Like I started it because I wanted freedom. I was tired of working 4 jobs at a time to still be late on rent. So me personally, dude, I don't give a shit what happens after the squeeze, because it's all crooked. Dude, you know this just as well as I do. It's crooked to its core, and there are many, many layers of corruption, right? So
yeah, the amount of corruption is ridiculous. I mean, dude,
yeah.
We're not even going to talk about the manipulation, the slap on the wrist, dude. But,
yeah, it's shameful, man.
It's shameful. Yeah. And then on top of that, obviously, we put out that one article where you got all these government agencies helping each other, hiring from each other. It's just so stupid, dude.
Phil, yeah, I do think like you, Phil. Man, Phil, where have you been, dog? Man, Phil has his own YouTube channel, though. Subscribe to Phil for real. That's my man, dude, from back in the day, like February or March.
What's up, Boss Front? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, Boss is in here?
Yeah.
Nice.
What else you got to talk about, man? I felt like I just... What's up?
Wait, what are you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I just felt like I just rambled on there for like 20 minutes. I felt like I cut you off there.
No, you're good, man. This is just a back and forth. So, yeah, there is something to talk about, and it's called Log the Flow. Hashtag Log the Flow. Hashtag Log the Flow. So we'll let you guys know when it's done. This won't be like in a couple weeks. This is more like in a matter of days. This thing will be up, and it's going to be a website where you can log how many shares you have of either A, AMC, or B, GME, or you could log shares for each of them individually. And, we're going to try and see if we can log the entire float. My guess is we're going to easily surpass that. It's kind of like Say Technologies, but you won't have to log into your broker. It's going to be based on a screenshot system. So I'm very looking forward to that. I am not creating it. I'm not developing it whatsoever. I'm just supporting it. And I think it's going to be a real game changer. So hopefully, you know, the guys that are making that can get that thing ready, and so we can promote it.
They're working pretty hard, man. Obviously, I'm in that with you and talking to those people, but there's some smart people. But I mean, I know they still got a lot of stuff to fix, and there's a lot of things that a lot of people continuously ask questions. So if you guys have questions, please send us DMs on how they can, you know, get around workarounds, any workaround you can think of. Obviously, the more you guys can come up and think of, the more we can close in the back, you know, little loopholes. So.
Yeah, you know, Biggums, I think the sooner the better with that, man. Like for the launch, I just, I mean, you know, we've had conversations off record, so I just think the sooner the better with that thing. You know, I think obviously it has to be solid, it has to be foolproof, it's got to be legit. But I really think putting that thing out there sooner than later will be better, because it's going to be made by apes. You know, the Say Technologies was, I don't even know who runs that company, but everybody that's logging their shares with the float logger, it's going to be floatlogger.com most likely. You guys know it's going to be run by apes. And so there's no logging into your broker or anything like that. You don't have to put in like a password to your broker. But I really do think it's important to get that thing out there sooner than later, so we can get some real numbers. Because, like, how is it? How is it this big of a debacle to like know how many shares exist? That's the one answer nobody wants to come up with.
Yeah, but you don't want to put it out too early, and all of a sudden it's all fucked up, and then no matter what, you lose credibility. People don't, you know what I mean? You want to make sure when you put that up, those numbers are accurate. You did that Say Technology, right?
Yeah.
When you did that, I was just kind of curious on this because I didn't do that. So if you ever bought a share like the next day on that Say Technology, did you have to update it, since you connected your broker, did it automatically do that for you?
Oh, if I bought more shares after?
Yeah.
It updated, if I remember. This was months ago, but
it auto updated?
Yeah, if I remember, it was like automatically linked, so you didn't have to do anything extra.
That's what I was gonna have to ask him, because I was like, that's one of the things I want to know is how are we gonna make it so it's constantly updated or linked, or what happens if somebody buys some the next day? Like now you're making it to where everybody has to constantly update at the same, or upload the second they buy as well.
Well, yeah, but I think Intellect has a solution for that. I also don't think, I just don't think that would be a huge issue.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm just thinking out loud, man. Obviously, like I said, any questions you guys got on that platform or can think of, like I said, anything like that, a little workaround, please DM us, because obviously we want to close every loophole we possibly can.
Somebody said did not update, and then somebody said yes, it did update. I'm pretty sure it did update automatically.
It's got 50-50 answers. You gotta love that.
You guys, if you have any questions, let them rip in the chat.
I'm going to see if anyone in my chat used Say Technologies. If anyone in my chat, if you use Say Technologies, did it automatically update for you guys, or did you have to update it every time you bought a share? I'm just curious. I don't know. Nobody's typing on it, so I don't know. Because that would be to me, that would be a big loophole that I could see.
No, dude, it automatically updated. I remember.
Did it?
But
okay.
you know where it had a flaw was, because I have my shares on multiple brokers, but for like the first 2 weeks, it only showed my shares from one of my brokers, and it wouldn't link my it wouldn't link my Fidelity account. So and I think that happened with a lot of people. So that number, remember, 1.4% of retail owned 14% of the float. I think that number actually should have been higher. And then there were a lot of international cats that couldn't log their shares. So this solves that solution as well, because this is Log the float will be worldwide. Everybody's allowed to log their shares.
Okay. Somebody said Jackson waved to them. I got you on the big screen. There you go, buddy. See, it's him. It's live. He's live. They didn't believe you were alive for some reason.
Yeah, man, I'm live in the building. Phil, for real, 197 million FTDs. Talk about it, guys. Yeah, man, they just get swept under the rug.
Yeah, see, the way that they do that, see, this is where those okay, so market makers have these exclusions where they can fill an order before they locate the shares. So they're just sitting there doing that all day long. And the way that they're able to so if you guys look up the overstock lawsuit, type in the keyword Hassan, and then type in sham resets, they're actually able to kick the can down the road with these FTDs, with these ISDA contracts. Basically, these are off exchanges, off the CBOE, because they're between two party members now. So basically, one of them will do a support annex. Now, they have to deposit collateral, which they used to not have to do, so it costs them money to do this. But obviously, if you can push a whole bunch of FTDs down the road at a cheaper price with a ISDA contract, you're going to keep doing that because these have flex options that are attached to them, and they can go up to a couple years compared to most of these banks and these brokers are going to, and other companies that are market makers are going to want more collateral if you're going to be doing these giant orders. So you can do these flex options with them and basically continuously kick these down the road. It's been a joke, but obviously, like I said before, without Phase 5, they were able to do this unlimitedly and it costed them nothing. But with Phase 5, it's actually costing them a shit ton of money.
Yeah, let me read a quote. I found it. We went over this months ago, the hazing and the sham reset. And
me and Randall did this one.
Yeah, so this is from the Overstock case. If you guys don't know, Overstock was shorted like crazy. A similar situation to AMC, not on like the global movement scale by any means, but similar, like it was basically death spiral financing, which Lucy Commissar likes to talk about, which is it's fascinating, but it's so malicious. Their intent is like to destroy companies. And when you destroy companies, you destroy lives, because those are actual, this is something that people don't talk about a lot, but there are humans that work at GameStop. There are humans that work at AMC. I just saw them. I was over at the mall in San Diego a couple of days ago. And if you take away the companies, well, you take away the jobs. And so it's really screwed up. So it's not like, yes, we want to get rich, but at the same time, we also don't want these companies to be shorted. Shorting is for price discovery. Shorting is also for putting fraudulent companies out of business. That is what it's good for. And so here's this quote from Overstock. Specifically, when alerted by clearing firms of his Reg Show obligation to deliver shares so settlement could occur, Hazan engaged in sham reset transactions that only gave the appearance of delivery, while actually perpetuating his undelivered short positions. Hazan would obtain the necessary shares for delivery by buying from another market maker who was also selling short and who similarly never intended to deliver shares to Hazan. Meanwhile, Hazan would pair or hedge his new purchase with option trades, creating what the SEC called married puts or buy rights, sometimes using flex options. Is that kind of what you're talking about, Biggums?
That's exactly what I was talking about there. And then if you actually look at another thing, while you're up there, type in closeout instead of sham. Yeah.
Okay.
Read those out. So basically, you can see those have more to do with failed to delivers.
So because the firm knew shares that were the subject of a buy were shares for its client's account that were the subject of simultaneous deep in the money calls, which
read that out. I'll just simplify that. It sounds like fucking mumbo jumbo. All right, so basically, so this is what would happen. So you'd have a bank, a corrupt bank, and you'd have a corrupt market maker, and since they weren't really tracked like they are now, everything was off exchange because it was, collateral was on these support annexes. Basically, what they would do is one of them would say, hey, pretend I sent you a shit ton of shares, like 1,000, a million shares. I sent you 1 million shares on these flex options. Now we'll write these flex options for, a couple months down the road, or maybe a month down the road, or whatever they need to push those FTDs down a little bit. So it could be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then what they'll do is say, all right, I sent you these, and then say you receive them and put them in your book. So basically now they're on both of their books as sent and received, but the shares were never sent out, or they're obviously they didn't buy or sell those shares anywhere. They just used them to technically push them, show that they have them for these FTDs to fill the FTDs. Now, after those options would expire, basically on both ends of their systems, they would just delete, and then both of their systems would now basically be perfect. So they use those shares to fill those FTDs at the current time, and then when it came back, they would rewrite another FTD or another contract when they needed to close out more shares off the record. So, I mean, basically these sham closeouts are a corrupt bank pretending to send it to a market maker, and then by the time the options expire on both ends, they clear out, and it equals out. It balances everything.
So, Biggums, you and I, we always talk about how these bigger entities abuse loopholes left and right? So, like, what is, and you can speak, you can always you can always decline to answer, and you can always speak to as much as you want, right? But
Yeah.
like, what is the solution for retail if there's all these loopholes? Like, if they can just keep kicking the can, then like what stops the can from being kicked? I know you got jacked about the ISDA phase 5. I got jacked about it too. Do you think that would help this whole can kicking, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the thing is now with that is the phase 5. There's going to be another phase 6 next year, and then phase 7. And I think I have the chart, actually. Give me 1 second if I could find it. I'll just try and look for it quick while I'm talking. But basically, there's more phases. And right now, what's happening is so like if you're a firm making over $50 billion, you have to now report to this agency, and they now watch all of your trades, your ISDA contracts. And next year, it drops all the way down to like 13 billion, which affects I think there's like 400. I can't remember the exact number, but there's like 472 or something like that or 700. Sorry, there's like 700 or 900, and somewhere between that is the members.
And this year there's like 350, if I believe.
Yep. Right now there's only a third that's under this of this phase 5, but phase 6 it goes all the way up to 69%, which is a massive jump. It's a big deal because the problem right now is they're using, obviously, you got shell companies, and they got these sub-corporations, and they're going between. See, I'll show another couple of things here. There's a system called the CNS system where they're able to. I don't want to keep throwing too much stuff at people, but I'll just keep going. But
no, I would love for you to talk about this because I had it in my notes to talk about continuous net settlements for like the last week, and I just never got around to talking about it.
So these okay, so for continuous net settlement, should I show my screen quick?
Yeah, if you got something that would help.
I'll show you this. Let me show my screen quick here on my video, because I could show you this chart, and this chart's actually going to help out quite a bit. So
guys, if you have a name of what our weekly segment should be called, let us know, because I was trying to think of something clever and I haven't yet. So if you got like, I don't know, man, Biggums and Hunter talk stonks or something clever, let us know.
Yeah. 1 second here.
I gotta make a thumbnail too.
Here we go. CNS. All right. If you guys,
Gary, I think you're gonna be incorrect, but one way to find out, just like Wesley said.
What's he saying?
He says, yo, Jackson, regarding log the float, honestly, it won't work out. Of all of Adam Aaron's reported 4 million shareholders, there's no way that many people will upload their screenshots. I'm just being real. Oh, okay. Let me speak on this for 1 second. Gary's unionization, I think you're misunderstanding. The goal of log the float is not to get every single retail shareholder to log their shares. Logging the float means so the float on AMC is about 500 million shares. So you might only need I don't know, 100,000, 200,000 retail shareholders to log their float. You don't need the whole 4 million. I think maybe there was a misunderstanding there. But in any case, the goal is just to log as many shares as possible.
Jackson,
Yeah.
what do you think about Jacked with Biggums?
Oh, they got one already?
Yeah, you like Jacked with Biggums?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Picks him and hunt never fish. Yeah, we'll think of something. I like that one though.
I'm gonna write it down. Jacked with Biggums. That's cool.
And then so let's go down. So basically, Phil was asking on your thing about those FTDs, right?
Yeah.
Now, is he still watching by any chance? You should tell him to type, because if he is, you should definitely listen to this, because it's talk about just what he's talking about. So the CNS basically is you guys can you see my screen or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically X clearing and CNS is the final step in counterfeiting, basically. So let's see here. It's so they call this basically strategic fail to delivers. I'm gonna pull. Hold on. I'm just gonna go and show you guys. Hold on. I want to find this chart before I get into this quick, because it's not gonna make. Okay, there we go. It's not gonna make much sense without this chart. All right. So basically, back in the day, you had these were just pretend each one of these is a broker here. So they're trying to make these trades. They're going back and forth. From company to company. It's just a massive mess. Okay. Now, basically, they changed it to what is called CNS. This is called netting. Yeah, let's call it netting. So, one second, I'll come down here. Now, right here, basically, so a lot of people that obviously they love Lou from Wall Street. Everybody's talking about Lou. Well, this is what Lou's talking about. So, basically, because I have watched this video, so many people sent me this one video on him, and I'm like, that's funny. He's talking about the CNS system as I'm putting a video up about it. So, there's like a giant vault here, okay?
You stole it from him, Biggums. You owe him money, man.
I think he stole it from me. He put it up after I put up this video. I'm like, man, this guy. No, I'm just kidding. I love Lou, dude. He's funny, man. So basically, think of this giant safe, okay? And now, this giant safe has all sorts of shares. They're the real shares. And basically, come down here. Hold on, let me get to this next graph. Okay, so you have this giant, CNS system. Now, if anyone wants to look up the DTCC, type DTCC CNS system, and you can pull up the program, or I could show you it on all the benefits and stuff like that as we go here too. But basically, if you needed shares, so it's all these brokers, right? They all have all these shares, and one of them, so let's say you needed shares, okay? Like at any point you need to borrow shares, you would dip into the CNS vault of the real shares at the time. And if somebody needed, like if you didn't have them, you could come into here. You would get in touch. It would send out like a little signal to these guys that have the extra shares. And at the time, you'll see, we're going to be looking right down here at this little box. So at the time, actually, let me pull this up so you can see it bigger. So here's your little box of shares. Now, let's say this guy has a surplus of shares in his account, and this guy needs some shares for that account. What he'll do now is this guy's going to send that into the CNS vault, and he's going to go ahead and put those shares over to this guy. Now, this guy's going to do a direct payment to him. Now, once all that happens, they're going to sell you those shares, and it's going to create one single, I'll pull this up here. It's going to create one single position, short or long position for these people, okay? Now, if you're going long, it's going to say that you borrowed from this CNS system. But your total net's going to be all put into one long position. So it's basically going to take, no matter what stock you had, okay? So you add up the sum, and now you're basically having a long or short position of that sum, okay? Now, you're supposed to pay the system back those certain shares. And this is where these synthetics that are being created, this is where the billions of these synthetics are being created, right here in the CNS system. I'm going to go ahead and read this line for you guys. Now, this was a while back, and the number's grown more and more and more. Now, if you don't, so when you have a long position, like I was saying, so you borrowed out of a position, it doesn't matter what stock it is. Now, this goes into, just like I said, a net sum of what you owe. Now, you're supposed to pay back those shares. If you don't pay back those shares in T plus 3 days, it's going to be called, if you look here on the screen, it's going to be called a buy-in. You're supposed to buy those shares back in. If you don't buy those shares in, this is where it gets real interesting, and this is where the loopholes that you're just talking about comes into play. Now, the NSCC, now let's say you have the NSCC, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to play it. I don't know if that played on you on accident. The NSCC here, basically is, they don't have power in this. It's so stupid. So the NSCC has no authority under SEC rules because of a loophole to force a company to do a buy-in. Because of this, like I said, this is a lot bigger now. DTCC officials explained that approximately 6,000 notices of intention to buy in are filled each day, with approximately 20 getting executed. Now think about that a day. You're getting FTDs, 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 just tons of these. Not getting filled back. They're not buying them back. And it doesn't care because everything's going in on this net position. It's like the CNS program is just like, all right, here, watch this. Let me pull this up, dude, a little bit more. It gets real stupid because I'll pull up the DTC site. Now, this is the DTC site. Now, these are the benefits that I'm, straight up from their site. This is them telling you exactly what this does, okay? So it says, while CNS deliveries are made automatically by using their deposits, members can exempt, now listen to this, members can exempt certain short positions to avoid segregation violations and effectively meet delivery needs. Now, the people that have the ability to use this CNS are market makers, brokers, and basically, if, let's say you're a market maker, right? So this is another stupid loophole. Let's say you're a market maker and you have an obligation, like, so let's say I had to pay back into the CNS company, right? If I don't, let's say somebody gives me an order. Well, now because of this, because I have, I have to meet other delivery needs with that share, I can actually go meet those other delivery needs instead of covering that buy-in. So you see what I'm saying? So they're sitting there all this time that they're supposed to be paying this thing back. They're not paying it back. They're not putting the shares back in. And that's where all these synthetics, these billions of synthetics are supposedly coming from, is they have, and you can actually look at the other rest of these things. I mean, closing fail. Now listen to this. This is another stupid thing. Closing fail positions are marked to market daily and re-netted with new transactions, which reduce risk. Well, of course. Like, what? It's just, like I said, it's just literally exemptions after exemptions. And like, all right, so, I was looking at, obviously you're all wondering probably who the hell can use this. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick gander. So if you look, here's the list of people. I mean, it's insane, dude. You got Virtues, obviously. You have every single bank. The problem is with these things. So, all right, you know how a lot of people say, like, Citadel, securities and derivatives, like, how they can't come in contact with each other, right? Because that's illegal. But if they use this system with each other and they're both registered, because as you can see, everybody's registering the subsidiaries under it. That's how they can technically communicate with each other and borrow these things, but not do it illegal. So another loophole, another gray area of communication. You see what I'm saying? It's like one loophole after the next, one gray area after the next to get around these things that are supposed to be stopped.
Yeah.
But yeah, the CNS program is just another. Some people say, like I said, man, if you look at the things, they're called strategic failed to delivers. This process is called CNS, and it hides billions of counterfeit shares that never make it to the reg show radar. And this goes, if you guys want to look at this video, I put this up on my thing. Because like it says here, these borrowed shares from the DTC are treated as legitimate borrowed shares. For companies under attack, listen to this. For companies that are under attack, the counterfeit shares that are created by the CNS program that are thought to be 10 or 20 times the disclosed failed to delivers. The true CNS are only obtained by successfully serving the DTC with a subpoena. I think, let me see if I go into the next page. The next page has some real good stuff here. Hold on. Hopefully I talk about the next. Okay, here you go. No. Okay, so this is another thing I wanted to show you here. Here you go. Here's another gray area, everybody. Here's another gray area that is super special to who? Market makers. Market makers may maintain temporary short positions in CNS until such time as there is significant trading to flatten out their position. Think about that. Think about what I just said. Until there's such time. So there's no time limit. What? You know what I'm saying? Until there is such time. Think of how broad of a term that is. What the fuck does that mean? So they can maintain a short position.
That's some island boy language, man.
Yeah,
and island boy shit.
And then listen to this. Listen to this. It gets even stupider right above this. Okay, so right above this. Okay, so it talks about how over here the over TC market or whatever. Similarly, CNS has no effect on the issuer's totaling outstanding shares. So they can just keep using these, jacking them up, dude. And obviously it doesn't show. Their outstanding shares won't go up. But in reality, they're going up, dude.
Yeah.
Isn't this crazy?
Yeah, it's messed up.
But I'm done. I'll let you go on. I feel like I've been just going on nonstop.
No, dude, I love it. I love it. That's because continuous net settlement is something I don't know a lot about. But, you know, we've been talking for about an hour, so we should probably get off unless there's something you're dying to let me know.
No, I mean, I'm good. I mean, I feel like we covered everything. Updated AMC, GME, little market structure talk.
Okay, for sure. Hey, guys, thank you so much for watching every Sunday on my channel and Biggums' channel. Make sure to subscribe to his channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button. We just want to see the little guy win. That's all we're trying to do. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night. Happy Halloween. Watch a scary movie. I watched one last night, and I don't like scary movies, but I watched one with my girlfriend. And so I think I'm boyfriend of the year for now. But Biggums, you have any parting words, man?
Just thanks to everybody for coming, listening. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. I will have that series going out tomorrow. I'll put out another video, the second video on dark pools. So if you guys are interested in learning about dark pools, make them super simplified, I'll have that out tomorrow night.
Okay, word. What's up, Rocky? Love you, man. Love you and your brother. You guys are awesome. Rocky, if you ever want to come on my channel, just hit me up, dude. Hit me up. Because Rocky, see, like everybody, I'm just going to talk for 60 seconds or less.
Do it up, dude. I'm in no rush.
Like everybody has their strong suits, right? Obviously, people know me. I don't know like market structure and all these like technicalities. I can mark up a chart. I'm a pretty good technical analyst. That's how I've made some decent plays in my time. But there's guys like Rocky Outcrop who are master technical analysts. You know, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've interviewed these guys. I've talked to these guys. They're very good at TA. Not only that, they know a lot of stuff. But then there's guys like Biggums. He knows CNS really well, and he knows like what happens like underneath the entire stock market, like the underworld, if you will, you know, the plumbing and like these loopholes. Like I don't know that stuff as well. I know psychology, and I know when there's millions of people on the internet rooting for something to win, well, the internet remains undefeated. So there's just something that all of us, we each bring to the table. And it's just beautiful to see. Like, just for example, I found Biggums on Twitter. I think I was just scrolling and he came up with this marvelous DD, and I reached out and I was like, yo, dude, that's dope. Do you want to come on my channel? And so that's how our relationship started. And I found Boss Blunts the same way. I found Astro through Biggums. And so like everybody contributes something. And you know, everybody has strong suits. So try and look for the positives in people. Like me, I'm not the smartest person in the world. And I don't think people watch me for my smarts with that. They watch me because like, I think I keep a positive attitude. You know what I mean? And people watch Rocky and trade spotting because they can mark a chart up like nobody's business, you know? And I've seen some real professional technical analysts. I've been in some real legit Discord groups. So everybody has a strong suit, and that goes for everything in life, not just AMC. So try and look for the positives in everybody. You know, like as I get older, I realize you can learn something from everyone and every situation. And when your mind is open to that, well, you tend to have a better time. So Biggums, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week at the same time, my brother.
Oh yeah, man. Sounds good. Take it easy, everyone. Thanks for having me again, Jax.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Later, buddy.